Once upon a time, in a land shrouded in darkness and silence, evil thrived. It crept into the hearts of the unsuspecting, whispered lies in their ears, and convinced them to commit terrible deeds. The people lived in fear, not daring to speak out against the evil that controlled their lives. But one day, a brave soul decided that enough was enough. They began to scream, to shout out the truth of the evil that had taken hold. Slowly, others joined in, their voices rising in a cacophony of resistance. The evil, startled by the sudden noise, tried to silence them, but it was too late. The light of truth had been shone on the evil, and it could not survive in the brightness. As the people continued to speak out, more and more of the evil was dragged into the light. It withered and died, unable to withstand the scrutiny and condemnation of the people. The darkness and silence that had allowed the evil to thrive were replaced by light and sound. The people were finally able to live without fear, knowing that they had the power to overcome the evil that had once controlled them. It is said that from that day forth, the people made a promise to never allow themselves to be silenced again. They would always speak out against evil, and ensure that it would never again find a home in their land. Casting a vote during political elections is one of the most fundamental rights and responsibilities of citizens in a democratic society. It is through the act of voting that citizens have the power to shape the direction and policies of their government, and to hold their elected officials accountable for their actions. The value of voting lies in its ability to give a voice to all citizens, regardless of their background or social status. By casting a vote, citizens have the ability to make their opinions and preferences heard and to influence the decisions that affect their daily lives. This includes decisions about issues such as healthcare, education, taxes, and national security. In addition to allowing citizens to have a say in the policies and direction of their government, voting also serves as a check on the power of elected officials. When citizens vote, they are expressing their approval or disapproval of the job that their elected officials are doing, and this helps to ensure that government officials are responsive to the needs and concerns of their constituents. Furthermore, casting a vote is not only an act of personal expression, but it is also a civic duty. It is a way of participating in a democratic society and ensuring its continuity by choosing officials and representatives who will uphold the principle of democracy. Unfortunately, many people choose not to vote. But it's important to remember that every vote counts, and every citizen has a right and a responsibility to participate in the democratic process. By casting a vote, citizens can help to ensure that their government truly represents the will of the people and that their voices are heard. In conclusion, casting a vote during political elections is a powerful and necessary act of civic responsibility. It is through voting that citizens have the ability to shape the direction and policies of their government, and to hold their elected officials accountable for their actions. The value of voting lies in its ability to give a voice to all citizens, regardless of their background or social status, in a democratic society and ensure its continuity. Electing bad leaders can have a number of negative consequences for a society. Some of these consequences include poor governance. Bad leaders may lack the skills, knowledge, or integrity to effectively govern a country. This can result in poor policy decisions, corruption, and a lack of accountability, which can have a detrimental effect on the economy, public services, and the overall well-being of citizens. Human rights abuses. Bad leaders may also be more likely to violate human rights and suppress dissent. This can include censorship, repression of opposition parties and political activists, and gross violations of civil liberties such as torture and extrajudicial killings. Loss of public trust. When leaders fail to govern effectively, the public may lose trust in the political process, leading to decreased voter turnout and participation in civil society. This in turn can undermine the stability of a democracy and may make it more vulnerable to authoritarian rule. Economic instability. A bad leader can be detrimental to a country's economy through bad policies, corruptions, and lack of accountability. These bad economic policies can lead to job loss, inflation, currency devaluation, and can worsen the standard of living of the citizens. International isolation. Bad leaders can also harm a country's international relations. Their policies, human rights abuse and aggression can lead to international condemnation and isolation, which can have a negative impact on trade, investment, and diplomacy for the country. Failure to address critical issues. Bad leaders may also be less likely to effectively address critical issues facing the country, such as poverty, inequality, and climate change. This can result in long-term problems for the country and its people. In short, the negative consequences of electing bad leaders can be far-reaching and can have a lasting impact on a society. It is crucial that citizens carefully consider their choices when electing leaders and hold them accountable for their actions once in office.